Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Before I get started into today's topic that I really want to talk about, I want to give you your product of the day as promised from my last video. It's a product that I used and I feel like, wow, this is so underrated, or maybe people don't know about it, and I want to put you guys onto it. So the product of the day is the Sephora. It is a lip gloss and I really love this color. It's like a mauve color and it's a luster matte longwear lip color. So I'm like, matte, it didn't come on, it feels very creamy to me. It doesn't come off as a matte like the NYX mattes. They're very like dried up instantly and it's not going anywhere for the day, but this one is kind of like shiny and I really like this. So in the color Luster, Fig Luster, this is the color. So it's that mauve color. It's so super pretty and it's so creamy. It glides on your mouth, your lips, and it just has a really nice feeling to it and it doesn't dry it out. So I thought that I would share that with you guys. And yeah, that's what I'm wearing now, and I paired it with a brown lip liner. So I'll have my whole face, everything I did today, because I did use some new products listed in the description bar. But right now I want to talk to you guys about my illness. I hate talking about it because I feel like sometimes I'd want to hide it, because people don't just see me off the bat and say, oh, you're sick, because sick people are supposed to look, you know, unhealthy, or maybe like, you know, sick, or walking around with a crutch or a cane or something like indicates some kind of ailment. And I feel like because that I don't have that, sometimes it's hard for people to understand that I am very sick. Around 2006, I wasn't feeling right, and this is the whole reason why I'm doing the video, is because I was misdiagnosed. And I want people to know that if you need to listen to your body, basically, because I did not. And I was very sick. Some of the symptoms I had was I was shortness of breath. I couldn't walk up a flight of stairs. At night, I would wake up gasping for air, like I just could not breathe. It was constantly a constant thing of could not breathe. So I thought maybe I have asthma because my mom has asthma, and maybe that's the situation. And my legs were swollen to the point where I was scared. I would put them up, they would go down, and then the next day they would just be swollen again. So those alarms are going off in my head, and this was around October of 2006. So I said it was around my mom's birthday, and I was like, she was having a big party, and I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna go because it was in another state and I didn't feel like I could make it. That's how badly I was sick. So I said, I'm gonna schedule an appointment with a person who handles asthma. I'm sorry, I don't know the terminology. And see if they can help me, because my mom has asthma again and it sounded like all the symptoms. So I went to the doctor's appointment and they gave me an asthma pump, a spray, and I think a Buterol, if I'm saying that right, and that helped me, but it helped me temporarily. The swelling was still there, the gasping at night was still there, and I couldn't figure out why. And it was just boggling me. I'm like, Mom, you know, is this supposed to be happening to me? She said, no. So I said, you know what, let me just go to my primary. I just got a new primary. Let me see if he has an answer for me. And I'm going for a checkup anyway, like a physical. So long story short, I went to the physical. I told him my symptoms. I told him everything that was happening. And he said, I'm going to admit you into the hospital right away. I was very alarmed. My husband was at work. The kids were at school. I was very scared. So, and I'm living in a rural town where I really don't know anyone except for my close-knit family. But that's a whole nother story. So I called my husband immediately. I said, they want to admit me into the hospital. Congestive heart failure. That's what it was. So I said, okay. I went to the hospital. My husband came shortly after, and they were running a lot of tests to see what was actually wrong with me. So I had a CAT scan and MRI, as well as blood work, and I was still feeling very sick. At this point, I was so unable to breathe that I could not lay flat in my bed at all. Like, I had to have pillows prop me up. Like I said, I would jolt out of my sleep gasping for air, and I've never in my life felt like this. So I was trying to figure out what is wrong with me. So after 2 days in the hospital, a cardiologist came in. He said, we can't help you here. This is where you need to go. You have pulmonary hypertension. So I've never heard that word before. I never heard that disease before. I'm thinking he's gonna say, oh, you have like a murmur or something more common about my heart or something like that. I knew it was my heart because, like I said, my heart would be racing and I couldn't fall asleep flat, and I knew it had something to do with my chest. So I looked up the condition of pulmonary hypertension, which is a rare disease, and typically many times you don't know how you got it. The only thing they can tell me is that it was primary pulmonary hypertension. It attacks the lungs. It stops the blood from flowing to the heart correctly from the lungs, and that causes the heart to enlarge, and it causes some very bad scar tissue, unrepairable scar tissue in your lungs. So that, now I know that now. Back then I was like, what the hell is this? I don't know what's going on with me. Is there someone that can help me? So at that time there was actually no one in the state of New Jersey, well, that I was comfortable with going to, so I had to go all the way to the Bronx, which was a godsend for me, because this man, my doctor, he actually helped me out tremendously. He gave me so much reading material. He made me feel so comfortable even in a place where I was so scared. At that point, when I got to the Bronx, I knew what was going on with me, but I still needed answers. I had so many questions. Like, this is a disease that's a progressive disease. So what that means is that the medicines and the therapies are only going to help you to a certain extent before ultimately you need a heart or a lung transplant or both. So when I got to this doctor, I was very shocked and alarmed at how quickly he was working on me and how quickly he was trying to get me these therapies, because he really honestly told me that literally you have 3 to 5 years to live. And this was back in 2006, and this was so alarming. And the reason why I'm trying to I was building up the courage to do a video like this is because so many people with this disease get misdiagnosed and go untreated for long periods of time, and then by the time they're able to get the therapies, it's too late. So I said all that to say that my doctor in the Bronx, he really helped me. He got me on all the therapies possible that can help open up my vessels and my lungs to get that blood flowing from my heart, from my lungs to my heart. So the therapies don't actually change anything. What they do is just give you a better quality of life. So in the interim of getting all the medications and figuring out what the disease was, of course, I was very depressed. I had anxiety. I thought that I was going to go to sleep and never wake up. Like, all of these things are going on in your head. And then when you try to explain this to people, they really can't wrap their heads around it, because I don't look sick. They always would say, but Karen, you're not sick. You don't look sick. I'm like, dude, I know, but I am. So it was really hard for me to explain this disease to people, especially when I had to have a handicap sticker, you know, going out to work and going out to the grocery store, especially in the winter time, is when this disease really is difficult. Being that I live in the northeast New Jersey, it's really hard to tell people that you're using your handicap sticker because you're really sick. Going back, I figured out, my doctors figured out what was best for me to do as far as the therapies, the medications. Unfortunately, these medications, because this is a rare condition, they're so expensive to have. And that's another reason why I put this video out here, because as a person, you need to listen to your body. You need to hear the inner voice saying, go to the doctor, go to the hospital, see what's going on, because that pain one day can turn into something another. So from what I know, this disease is something that can happen several different ways, but what I think happened and what my doctors think happened, but they can't obviously say this is the reason. So when I had 2 children back to back, they're actually Irish twins, they're 11 months apart, and they believe that because because I had them so close together, that may have been the issue as to how this happened to me. I had no idea this disease ever existed before I got it, and I'm just telling my story in hopes that someone else, if you're feeling like you're not right, if something's off, because that's how I was feeling for months before I went to the hospital or for went to the doctors. I was just feeling like I'm off, and when I'm sitting still, when I was sitting still, I could see my heart just beating through my skin almost, and you could see like it was moving my shirt, which was unsettling. But me being me and having children, having a family, having a job, I was just like, oh, it'll be okay, I'll be fine. Here to just say, like, I can't even believe I'm doing this video and I have the courage to do it, but I'm doing it because I want people to know that you have to take care of yourself before you take care of anyone else. And it's really hard as a mom and a wife and a daughter, and someone who wants to be active and always, like, I'm a big kid, I always joke around, I always want to be the life of the party. But you have to take care of yourself, and taking care of yourself is making those regular appointments, taking your medication as prescribed, and doing the things that you need to do so that you can continue to be here for your family. So that's all I wanted to say, and that people are really cruel sometimes, and they don't understand people's sicknesses, and they can't get outside of themselves sometimes. So that may be a lesson takeaway too. Like, just because someone doesn't look sick doesn't mean they're not sick, and it's just hard to explain to every single person you encounter, like, I'm sick. A lot of people don't want to express that, because me personally, I feel as though, why should I have to tell everyone I'm sick? I don't want people to feel bad for me. I don't want people to treat me differently because I'm sick. So I let my coworkers know. I gave my boss information that in case I faint, because a lot of these symptoms, if you look it up, and I'll put the symptoms here or maybe here, and I'll put like information, websites and stuff in the description box. But if you really know anything about pulmonary hypertension, it is a hard disease to live with, because it attacks your lungs, it attacks your heart, and then the medications make that feel better, but then they give you all these side effects such as diarrhea, vomiting, headaches. Oh my gosh, because I take the male Viagra, because that is a vasodilator, and that opens up it dilates the vessels in your lungs, but it also gives you a massive headache. So a lot of times I just stay in bed, or if I'm not feeling good, I'm always constantly resting. And my family is so good. My husband is so kind, as he should be, and my kids know as soon as mommy is like sitting down, there's something wrong, and we're just gonna stay out of her way and let her do her rituals that will get her better, like take a deep breath, lay down on the bed, put your feet up, drink some water. So those are the things that my family is really I'm so blessed to have my husband and my children, because they know, because I've been sick, like I said, since 2006 with this disease. And when the doctor told me I had 3 to 5 years to live, I kind of was like feeling like I was living on borrowed time. But the good thing about it, and the blessing in it all, is 2018 and I'm still alive, and I'm doing really well with the therapies. So I think that the therapies and taking my medicine and being conscious of what's going on inside is helping me live longer. So that's the goal, right? So 2006, I had no idea if I was even going to make it to my daughter's high school graduation, and here she is, finishing her first year of college. So every year every day I just wake up and I'm just grateful for the life that I have and being alive, because so many people with this disease have died at an early age. Also, just make sure you check yourself out. Always go get a physical. Always go, to the doctor, or even give them a call. Like I tell my doctors all the time, I don't feel like paying a $50 copay to come see you. Can you just give me some Zofran so my stomach can stop hurting, because a lot of the drugs make you feel nauseous as well. But anyway, I'm rambling on. If you need any more information, or if you feel like, commenting down below, and we can have an open dialogue about, illnesses, chronic illnesses, diseases, and things like that, I'm open to it, because I feel like if I can help one person, then I've helped a lot of people. So if you like these kind of videos, the story time setup, I'm sitting in my bedroom just chilling, about to cook dinner. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and have a wonderful day.